Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where there's a Trump quote for everything, this is Ballot.
Today, the Journal suggests Uncle Joe is starting to slip, and Trump forgets he didn't think indicted people should run. Oops, let's hit this. Uh-oh, the Wall Street Journal published a scary article. It looks like Grandpa Joe has been showing some serious signs of vintage Biden-isms during his latest round of meetings on Capitol Hill. Can you just picture the scene as the president addressed congressional leaders to discuss Ukraine aid? Sources say Sleepy Joe was practically in REM cycle mode. Speaking so softly, people struggled to hear him, zoning out with his eyes closed for extended espresso nap periods. At one point, they probably had to triple cortado espresso shot him just to get him to blink twice for, yes, I approve $47 billion in javelins for Kyiv. Although knowing Biden's legendary avoidance of caffeine after 7 p.m., he was more likely sipping a lukewarm Ovaltine. The real kicker, though? His one-on-one brain freeze with Speaker Johnson, where Biden tried passing off a major energy policy as just a study, according to reports. As if Grandpa hadn't already greenlit jeopardizing those projects, and then plumb forgot. You can practically hear Johnson's inner monologue. Mr. President, with all due respect, are you even reading your own EOs anymore? Or just doing mad libs with the fine print? Then we've got last year's debt-ceiling psycho-bidergy, where according to Kevin McCarthy, the leader of the free world was a veritable Chie pet, alternating between lively banter one day and total mumbling incoherence the next. An inconsistent jerrying tour, if you will. Oh man, I can see it now. 1 minute Biden's rambling semi-coherently about Armageddon options, followed by an aide gently guiding him off stage as he trails off about getting everyone some Jell-O cups and Werther's Originals. The roller coaster no one asked for. Of course, the White House staffers are gobsmacked this could ever be perceived as cognitive impairment. He's just thinking really hard, you guys. That furrowed brow and drool puddling? Just the 9-dimensional chess calculations of a stable genius. Let's face it, though. Between struggling to stay awake, forgetting his own policies, and those wild lucidity swings, it's starting to look like we may need to get President Grandpa a life alert implant before Corn Pop really pops off. Assuming he can still remember who Corn Pop is by then. Wow, talk about an absolutely stunning reversal from Donald Trump on the idea of criminally accused candidates running for president. His 2016 rhetoric railing against Hillary Clinton is aging. Poorly, to put it mildly. Back then, Trump was positively apoplectic at the very notion that Clinton could potentially face indictment, yet still pursue the White House. He painted this hypothetical as an existential threat, an unprecedented constitutional crisis that would grind government to a halt. The sheer melodrama of Trump's warnings is pretty rich in hindsight, pausing for dramatic effect to rasp, folks, she shouldn't be allowed to run, okay? As if Clinton merely being investigated was grounds to disqualify her from participating in democracy. You can almost picture present-day Trump having to choke back those sitting president under felony indictment lines at his own rallies. The lack of self-awareness required to spew that kind of fire and brimstone only to become that very situation must be staggering. Of course, his campaign is trying to brush it all off as no big deal. Just Trump being wrongfully persecuted in a big witch hunt double standard. As if facing actual criminal conviction amid multiple other indictments is at all comparable to Clinton's email probe. In any case, it's a stark reminder that Trump has always been a bump-on-a-log passenger to his own stated principles. As long as it benefits him personally in the moment, anything goes. Ethics, consistency, and democratic norms be damned. It seems the tides may be turning a bit in some crucial battleground states, according to these new polls from Florida Atlantic University and Main Street Research. Biden is showing slight leads over Trump in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. 3 states that could ultimately decide the 2024 election. I wonder what changed. Now, the margins are still pretty razor thin. We're talking Biden advantages of just 3. 7 points in each of those swing states when third-party candidates are factored in. But in an electoral college fight, where every last vote matters, those narrow leads could prove immensely significant if they hold. It's a potential warning sign for Team Trump that they may be losing their grip on the blue wall states that famously flipped red in 2016 before flipping back in 2020. Having to seriously sweat places like Wisconsin and Michigan again is not an ideal scenario for the former president. That said, we're still half a year out from Election Day, which is just an eternity in modern American politics. As that UK professor notes, the landscape could shift radically based on any number of volatile factors. The Hunter Biden case, Trump's eventual sentencing, random October surprises, you name it. Biden's team certainly can't get too confident riding these small, swing state polling bumps when national trackers still show a virtual dead heat. Nor can Trump supporters take too much solace in hypotheticals about the race remaining highly volatile. Portions of today's program were made with the help of AI. Wait, I never said that. Said what?